Romance. The Billionaire's Secret Desire by Alessandra Bancroft. Narrated by Jodi Stapler. Chapter 1. The Billionaire's Rescue. Alex Roeg sat at the end of the bar, doing his best to disappear into the shadows as he swirled the green olive in his martini. He always felt like a cliché when he sat in his custom suit sipping one of these cocktails, but the dry, clear drink had always been his choice at the end of these seemingly endless conventions. It had gotten to the point where he could barely tell the difference from one convention to the other. They had become a continuous stream of keynote speeches, tedious meet and greets, and awkward interactions with new college graduates who fancied themselves the next earth-shaking entrepreneurs of the world as they tried to network and get their shiny leather-clad feet in the front door of success. At the end of the day, there was always another hotel bar, always another bartender willing to serve him and walk away without trying to pick his brain or gain any favor. Alex tipped back the rest of his drink and waved off another round from the bartender. He was just pulling the olive from the small plastic silver sword that was spearing it when he saw a woman walking toward him holding a full glass and giving him a focused smile. Alex thought quickly, flipping through the faces of everyone he had met thus far that week, trying to place her. With severely styled blonde hair, makeup that was a study of neutrality, and jewelry that all but screamed it was a gift from a guilty-minded husband, there was nothing particularly remarkable about her. But the familiar look she shot him as she made her way across the bar toward him made Alex feel like he should recognize her. Unfortunately, he had little time to continue searching his brain before she was only a few steps from him and extending a slim, diamond-encrusted hand. "Mr. Roeg, how nice to stumble into you here," the woman said, the tone of her voice telling him that there was meaning behind those words she was not quite relaying. "Hello," Alex said, drawing out the word slightly to give his brain a few more seconds to think, in the hopes that it would pull through and come up with her name as he shook her hand. After a few seconds, she said, "Ellen," and smiled forgivingly. "Ellen Knapp." Recognition dawned on him. This was the wife of Sam Knapp, an executive in one of his companies. He nodded and gripped his empty martini glass a little harder, wishing he had had another fresh one. "How are you this evening?" Alex asked, shifting uncomfortably as Ellen took another step to get closer to him. "Oh, you know, another mixer at another convention. I left Sam with some lobbyists who managed to make their way in and came here to escape." She laughed, but Alex wasn't sure at exactly what. "How about you?" Alex shrugged. He wanted to tell her that he had come to the bar to get away from everyone and unwind a little before going back to his suite, but thought that may be less than diplomatic and remained quiet instead. Ellen shifted her weight so that one hip pushed out the blue sequins of her cocktail dress and lowered her eyelashes at him. "Maybe I can join you for a drink," she said, her voice taking on a smokier quality. He was just lifting his empty glass to show her and stumbling over finding the most polite way to shake off her not-so-subtle suggestion when a fresh drink appeared on the bar, long, slender fingers slipping away from the glass and onto his shoulder. "Here's your martini, darling," an unfamiliar voice said from beside him. "I'm sorry it took me so long. This place is a madhouse." Ellen's eyes narrowed, and Alex glanced up to see a petite brunette standing close by his side. Her hand rested comfortably on his shoulder blade, and she smiled at the taller, older woman. "Hello," the brunette said pleasantly. "I'm Mary, and you are?" Ellen opened and closed her mouth without making a sound, and Alex chimed in. "This is Ellen Knapp. She's Sam's wife." The woman who called herself Mary gave a bigger smile and nodded as if she understood exactly what he told her. Ellen seemed to be trying to recover after the shock of this woman suddenly appearing, but he could see the uncomfortable mixture of embarrassment and fury in her eyes. "Well, it is lovely to meet you, Mrs. Knapp. You be sure to tell Sam that we say hello." Mary turned to Alex and brushed a piece of hair away from his forehead. "Come on, honey. Let's take a spin around the dance floor before heading to bed." Alex was completely confused about what was happening, but a pretty brunette was giving him an easy way out of an awkward conversation, with no good ending in sight, and he was not going to argue. Mary slid her hand down his arm and took his hand, leading him off of his bar stool and toward the nearly full
Sample complete. Ready to continue?